Yeah, the question is, what's this stuff about nations? How does that work? And the first thing I would say is, when I was researching and studying this issue, I was fascinated by it because I'd never really given it thought. And again, we'd never talked about it in school, and I actually never read a book that talked about it. By the way, a book that I recommend in that regard is Richard Mouw's book, When the Kings Come Marching In. And it's a little book, and it's on Isaiah chapter 60 about the nations of the earth. But you have all of these references in Revelation, Isaiah, Daniel. You got these nations. Well, I think what it is, one of the problematic aspects of it is you got these different languages and all. Yeah, but aren't the different nations and different languages, didn't that happen as a result of the curse of the Tower of Babel? See, so that wasn't part of God's original design. But see, if you believe in the sovereignty of God, you believe that he could bring certain things into existence into a fallen world as a result of fallenness, but bless those things and have them be part of his ultimate plan. So when he says, people of every tribe and nation and language worshiping me, God is more glorified because of all the nations and tongues and languages, even though historically they came out of sin at Babel. So that's the greatness of God and the sovereignty of God. But I think one thing I believe about all the nations of the earth is that God will get greater glory as people from those nations worship him. As far as how it works pragmatically, I think, you have the central New Jerusalem. Then it says, the kings of the nations bring into the gates of the city the splendors from their particular nations, which would mean that they are actually located outside of the New Jerusalem in other parts of the world, other parts of the globe, which would make perfect sense. That there would be, because it's not just a New Jerusalem, it's a new earth. And Jerusalem's big, if you take, literally the dimensions of it, it's amazingly big, but there's still the whole rest of the earth. And so I think the nations are in the other parts of the earth. They're godly. They have distinctives of their culture. And they may even have their own languages still. It's not just people who used to be of every tribe and nation and language. People of every tribe and nation and language. It's not that they have no national identity and no racial identity once they're in God's presence. They do. And so I think that these nations may be all over the world, and then they come to bring tribute to the king when they come into the New Jerusalem. If that's the case, think of the wonders. I was talking about the wonders of other parts of the galaxy. Think of the wonders of simply going into other parts of the world and seeing redeemed people of every culture with potentially their distinctive clothing, their distinctive jewelry and artifacts and culture, maybe their distinctive modes of transportation. And so if you've ever wanted to go to Egypt and haven't, there's a number of believers, followers of Jesus today in Egypt, and historically there were some influenced by Joseph, and others, no doubt, came to faith. And so you might be able to go and visit an Egypt that is redeemed. And because cultures and even languages have changed and nations have changed over time, maybe you could also go and visit the tribe of ancient Egyptians who came to faith, who might wear what they used to wear and might do what they used to do, except without sin. That portion of it that I just said is all speculation. But what is not speculation is that there will be nations on the new earth. That's the inspired word of God.